Hello again. Welcome to a follow-up episode of things I like to look at and talk about. All right. If you remember in just my very last video, which was like a week ago, I said I was going to be starting to work on that Hobbit hole because I showed you that end and I got all fixed up, cleaned up. That's where Yeti's sitting. That's the path that was pretty messed up, like the side I've been working on. Cleaned all that out, ran my big tractor through there, and all the way back there where that big log thing is sitting, right about there, that's the corner post. I got to redo that, but that big piece of railroad tie is holding that corner post for right now until I get some steel reinforcements in it on either side. Anyway, I said last video I was going to work on the Hobbit hole that was this way. Remember I said it was dark, can't even see through it, looks like a Hobbit hole. Yeah, anyway, you got to see right there, because there's our campground in the background. I showed you last video. That old pile's growed right there, as you can see, because behind me is what used to be the Hobbit hole. Oh my goodness gracious, what a 60-year-old fart can do to a Hobbit hole. Look at that. Yeah, I'm having a coffee break. That's why I decided to go ahead and do this follow-up. Here's my coffee mug. I do cold coffee, that's why there's ice in it. And that leaf, that oak tree right there, dipped a little bit of oak flavoring in there. It's important to have oak flavor in your coffee. Just dip that right in there, it's delicious. Anyway, yeah, I do cold coffee, so there you go. Say what you want to say. My wife does strictly hot coffee. Grandpa does strictly cold coffee. There it is. There's the big dividing line. Anyway, there's my here's my power cord. Here's my electric chainsaw. I don't know if you can see it out there. The little camouflage because of its coloring. Let me see if I can. There it is, right there. See it right there. Right there. Okay, yeah, that's an electric chainsaw from Harbor Freight. Don't get me wrong. Those electric chainsaws from Harbor Freight, Portland brand, I believe they're called. They upgraded them to where you can use just your little side gear on it. Pull the chain out tight, tighten that side gear. You ain't got to mess with screws or nothing, man. It's a 2-second affair to snug that chain up. They hold a whole lot of chain oil, and I actually use tramp oil, 30 weight tramp oil for my that comes out of my truck, or out of my car rather, for my chain bar lube. But man, it works so good. It has a really large container for the chain lube. You don't have to fill it very often. And that thing is beefy. Now, I told you, I'm going to start panning up so you can see it. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of cut stuff behind me. There we go. Look at all that stuff laying there. Those sticks sticking up there. Well, there's one of the poles right there. That is where my fence used to be before that tree fell and smashed everything flat. These right here, I'm sitting on one. I actually flipped it over. Sitting on one. There's the other one right there. That's them railroad ties I showed you that were kind of hid under the Hobbit hole last go around. That's one of them ants that bite you. Yeah, these were under that stuff. Now they're out here. I'm sitting on one of them. How about that? And you can see, like I said, 60-year-old man, electric chainsaw, wolf dog, and that right there, there's my 30 weight chain bar wall right there. That's what I use right there. And there's that, just for mainly cutting all these dang vines. Oh my God, we got vines a lot in Florida. You get in a wooded area, you got vines galore. And I mean, we have every variety. We got them little thin guitar string ones, I call them. We get them thick ones. And we get them ones with barbs on them. And you grab one of them thinking you're pulling it out of the ground, you're going to get a awakening, rude awakening. But yeah, I basically knocked that Hobbit hole in the butt. Now I'm down to, you can kind of see some of the overgrowth beyond where the tree had fallen. I got one more smaller tree that fell on the other side of that overgrowth. Once I get that down, I'll use my tractor and knock that stuff down. And then if you see up there, if you kind of look, you can see the angle. A little hard to show you from here, but you can see it. And there's one more tree that fell during that hurricane, and it's laying in that tree up there. It's just laying in the branches. If that tree wasn't there, the thing would have done fell. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that, because that's beyond me. That's on, thing is, that's on that county canal access. I can't get to it, and I sure can't get to the top of that tree. I'm not that able anymore. But what do you think, Yeti? I can't figure out what to do. What do you think I should do? Baby boy, what should Grandpa do about that big tree up there? Because I know, too tall for me, too tall for my ladders, and I know you're no monkey climb a tree. Wolf dogs don't do trees. They're ground animals, like what you see them right there. Anyway, hope everybody's doing okay. We got all our got to send our hopes and prayers to the people of the islands in the Caribbean, because I just watched on the news, and boy, that Melissa hurricane, that thing's going to turn into a devil of a storm. It's already dumping all manner of water on them people, and both those places are very mountainous, so the more rain they get, the more of that stuff comes pouring down the mountains, like it did in our Carolinas from last year. And boy, they're going to be in for a devil of a time, because especially them people in Haiti. I've known a few people from there, and they, like he said, they don't have a lot of good structures there, and they don't have much places to go except up into the mountains to try to get away from the mudslides. So it's going to be terrible on them people. It's very sad, and hope that thing tries to just hurry up and shoot past them and between them, and not hit them too hard with the wind and weather. It's going to be bad enough. Anyway, guys, y'all have a nice weekend. It is just Saturday. Y'all have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. And I'm going to finish my cold coffee down there. It's just waiting on me. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.